Hey, all you day people that might pop on here. I don't come on here during the day, afternoon too often, so I thought I'd pop on and say hello. I'm just having, been going on for days, but it's gotten worse every day. My fog is just insane. And I don't normally bitch about cog fog, but the fog I'm dealing with now is just so deafening that I needed to talk about it. Within all my other symptoms and stuff like that, being so weak and dizzy in the fog, and I know it's from stress and stuff like that, but I deal with a lot of stress, and usually the fog doesn't do this, to this extent. So I've been kind of surprised. I just went to the grocery store, and the whole time I was sitting there thinking, God, have I been set back for a long time? Like, just how much my setback is. And being 3.5 months off of a cut, and I'm still gaining these crazy symptoms. I'm not even sure what to do. To be honest, I have no idea what to do. I'm about to talk to my girlfriend again about this shit because she literally has to know what's going on. Because if she doesn't, she'll just assume I can do the same stuff. But these kind of conversations are hard considering that it's always negative, you know. Last night she asked me if I needed to talk. I said no because it was getting late and I seriously didn't want to get into that last night. And I appreciated it. In general, she's really supportive. But nobody will ever fully understand what's going on. I've had some stomach issues because I was eating rice last night, and I know better because rice usually gives me the total shits. I know too much information, but that is the fact. And I made a nice dinner last night, and that's what we had. So once in a while, rice won't even bother me, but there's a good portion of the time it does. And yeah, I fucked my stomach, and I'm sure that is contributing to some of my fog today. It's been every day for about 3-4 days now, where if I'm on my computer too much, that's always the case with fog for me. The more I'm on my computer or screen time, the worse the fog gets. So I do everything in my power to get out of that head. Like I just went to the store, and that kind of breaks it up a little bit. I'm doing this, trying not to stare at the screen, you know. But the fog is so thick that it's actually a total issue. I never even bring up brain fog too much. It's always there, but I just don't know when to ever cut again. And that's what's sad. People say, well, you just got to wait till you're ready. But I'm at 3.5 months. What am I supposed to wait 6 months for every cut? I won't be off this 1.1 milligrams of Remeron for 6 years. Can't do that. I would probably end up dying just being on it. So, it's really frustrating to me. Things have just gotten so fucking complicated to where I can't do the stuff, even the small things that I was doing. That's even harder. I know my girlfriend probably wanted me to go to Home Depot with her today, and honestly, I can't walk in around that store. I could physically, but mentally, I can't take it. It's like and when I went to Aldi earlier, it's a completely controlled environment for me because it's never that busy, and I can leave whenever the fuck I want. So I usually do my shopping. If I can tolerate it, I'll look around a little bit, but it's completely controlled for me. If I went to Home Depot with her, um, you know, I know she likes to look around there for a while, and the place is just so massive, and I'm just, where a year ago I could have done it no issue, no questions asked. It's such a joke. I mean, I just feel so alone in the situation. But it's like I know other people can relate to it, but to be honest, I feel really alone. I've got so many symptoms and weird shit going on. And I can understand, like, I wouldn't even care so much if this was like a month after my cut because I would know why. But 3.5 months later, what the fuck's going on? Why am I having all these waves? And then I'll go through a partial window for like a day or two, and it's nothing major, but it's something to where I kind of start to feel hopeful that things are getting better. And then it's bam, back to the bullshit. I don't know if it's because of the weed the fucker's smoking downstairs and all the stress I've been putting myself under. I know the stress ain't helping. That's for sure. I've written 4 notes. I've had videos, so if you want to know, you can go to my past videos about it. But it's like if it starts up again, I'm just going to the office this time. I've given everybody the benefit of the doubt, and I'm being lied to, which is so stupid. It's like, why would somebody lie about it? It's like it's so fucking obvious who it is, and I ended up having to fucking go to my other neighbors when I know damn well it wasn't them. That was utter bullshit. I should have never had to. But anyway, that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is that dealing with the fog, it's like it's not enough that I've got a million fucking symptoms. And it's not enough that it's 3.5 months later. I think it's 3.5 as of now. Let's see. 3 months, 13 days. Just for a cut. Now, before Remeron, at the most would be like a month and a half. And that was like pushing it. And if I was being really cool, I'd wait 2 months. But that was really rare. Usually I'd cut every month and a half. Now I'm on 3.5 months, and things are just cycling and getting worse. Doing the same shit I've been doing for the last few years. Same diet, same everything. Admittedly, my physical symptoms were way worse some days ago. So that's good. It's a little better, but it's honestly not much better because it's like if anything happens, it's just right back to where it was. It's not to a point where I feel confident with it at all. It's totally ridiculous. And now I just try to distract as much as I can through the day, but it's so much. Because if I just stop for a second and look at the screen or whatever for a while, that fog just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm just not sure what to do. I feel like I'm getting worse. And I feel like I can't even cut my med. And I need to get off the meds. It's the meds that are making me sick. And I'm tired of people telling me maybe I should go up on my meds or this or that. And it's like I know the Remeron makes me sick in general. And it's like it's not a benzo type thing, so I mean, this is all stemmed from benzos because benzos destroyed my nervous system, so I can't even do shit. But with benzos, you can go into tolerance really easy. But this is not what these drugs are like. So I don't think it's a tolerance issue. It's not like I feel better after I take it. I feel nothing. Just feel the same old psychological and physical bullshit. So it's just sitting there waiting all the time, waiting, waiting. And I know, like, when I cut things, some things will get a little better, and some things will probably get way worse. But I'm at a point where I can, like, hardly deal with change, like with meds or anything. I can't, like, go do anything to, like, enjoy my life because I'm so fucking beat up. Work is taking everything I can do out of me. And I know if when I talk to my girlfriend about it, I'm just gonna break down, and I'm so tired of having her be upset about it. I know she wants to support me, but I know she can't handle it. But I'm getting worse. What do I do? I still need to know that she's gonna support me, but I don't even know if that's gonna fully happen in the future. It's just really sad. Jesus Christ. Ooh, that was stupid. Sorry, I have to do this real quick. When I sell something on another platform, I have to delete it from another. But I sold it too low on another one by mistake. Oh well, not a huge deal. It's like I don't even know where to start with anybody anymore. Usually my conversation starts with, "I was doing better until I over tapered Remeron." But I waited so long to taper. Waited so long. I waited 7 months. And here I am 3.5 months later after one little taper, 1.2 to 1.1. And here I am just suffering like I've never suffered before. I mean, a lot of this is even worse than when I fucked up Remeron. Of course, I updosed, so all I did was destroy my nervous system, and then I didn't get the backlash as much of mental until about, like, months later. But yeah, this is crazy. Still symptoms are cycling like a motherfucker. When am I supposed to taper? When am it's like, what am I supposed to do? At this rate, I can't tell my girlfriend anything. There's, like, no end in sight. Like, before I could say in a couple years or whatever. At this point, there's no end in sight. I can't even think, well, every like 4 months. As much as that's bullshit, I can't even say every 4 months I can taper. I should be able to at least taper 3 times a year, which is complete trash if you ask me. But if that's the case, I would probably be able to get off in 2.5 years. But it doesn't even seem like that's probable. At some point, if things get so bad, I'm gonna end up getting cold turkeyed off this medicine. That's I do not want, but I can't say that's an impossibility. And that would be fucking horrendous. Considering how much I tapered a little bit and it nearly fucking killed me. Oh my god. At least it felt like it anyway. It was scary torture. And the thing is, I still have to work. I cannot be cold turkeyed off this medicine because I will not be able to It's one thing if I could like force shit to be done at home, because literally, as long as I could move, I can do my job to a point. But I can't go out and find shit to sell. After Benzos, my girlfriend helped me for years, but I was paying all the fucking bills. It was hell. Absolute torture. It was hell trying to get that. I would have to buy something on like a credit, use it for a while, and then when I needed money, I would have to sell that item, but then I'd still have to pay off the credit. But that's the cycle. It was so hard. I mean, we did what we had to do, which is, where, that's the good part. We did what we have to do, but I can't do that again. I cannot. I cannot pay all the bills. And I mean, that's not what it's looking like anyway, but just the thought of it was so hard to keep up with that. I don't even remember how long it was that I stayed home while my girlfriend went out and found shit for me to sell. I mean, she's pretty good at it for clothing. Um, then eventually I started going with, and it was really fucked and hard. My LSD shit was way worse then, but I still went out. I didn't have a ton of physical symptoms. I did, but it wasn't that bad. And I had motivation, and the depression wasn't bad. Anxiety was chemical, but it wasn't, it was different. But I could definitely do and handle more. Where now I go to work, and I'm hoping this passes eventually, but now I go to work and it throws me right back into this hell. And then I have to wait and sit at home and suffer until I feel somewhat decent enough so I can go out for work. And it's just this vicious fucking cycle. And there's no way I can sit at home, because that's even almost worse. It's like the mental of sitting at home is torture for me. Just sitting at home and working and doing my job and all day. Because my DPDR and fog get way worse sitting at home. But my physical and, yeah, we'll just say physical, even though mental gets worse too, but physical gets way worse when I go out. And I can deal with the physical way more than the mental. But like days after work now, especially even normally when I went out for work, usually that day, even though like I would be physically beaten up, my mental would be better. I'd be a little clearer. Now I get home from work and I'm like, holy fuck, I can't even function. And the next day, like today, of course, I had my gut issues last night, but like today, it's just pure fog and DPDR, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I just don't get it. 3.5 months after a taper, I shouldn't still be in this crazy madness. I mean, was it really so harsh on me that I tapered, that I can't do anything? I can't wait a year. I can't wait a year every time I want to taper and then suffer immensely throughout the year. I feel like there's no way I'm gonna get out of this being in a relationship. I mean, I hope I do. I wish you would just be like completely 100%. And no matter how, I mean, because I love her to death and I care about her so much. And I do my best to keep the relationship, or it's not just misery all the time. And I mean, if that's not enough, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. The sad part is that kind of stress, like The stress of the relationship puts so much on me. It puts so much on me. Like I've said in the past, I just wish she would say something like, "No matter what you're going through, I will always be there for you. As long as you want to be with me and you love me and you're doing your best, I will always be there for you." That's all I wanna hear, and I don't hear that ever. And it doesn't even have to be like that, you know? But I seriously hope she doesn't just run away for an easier life because too fucking complicated. I'm too fucking complicated. That's not what love is about. I don't bring any fun to this fucking relationship, I get it. I'm pretty fucking boring. I watch TV, I work, and I cook dinner. I don't go to shows anymore. I mean, within these years, I've done a lot still, you know? I've still, like, throughout the years, I've gained more than I've lost until now. But my therapist, well, my psychiatrist, which is weird because she's not my therapist, but she likes to say, you need to stop beating yourself up for this. It's like, how can I not? Nobody is in this fucking situation I'm in. I'm losing everything left and right. And the kind of stress for me to be able to handle a, like, if I ended up alone, for me to be able to handle being alone and not having somebody there for support, considering how bad I am and how bad I'll get, and how am I supposed to cut my meds being alone and having to work and pay all the bills? How am I supposed to do that? And no offense to people on disability, but the fact that some people get disability and I don't, it pisses me off. Every fucking doctor I've talked to, all the neurologists, they all say I'm pretty much full of shit. No matter the list of fucking symptoms I fucking tell them, it doesn't fucking matter. They don't even care. Just because they can't fucking name it. Oh, one doctor said I had fibromyalgia. Wow. Are you serious? So I'm this fucking sick and I can barely fucking do anything. I can do more than some, sure. But you know what? It's barely. It's pushing. And hence, I always throw myself into major waves all the fucking time because I have to do this shit. I don't even get a chance to make my nervous system calm down. I end up wasting my day trying to distract, meditate, take baths, and all this bullshit. And honestly, it pisses me off. There's only a select few people that are in my situation, literally. And we're all like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? There's no help. Most people, and I mean, I've been in the forums and pages for 5 years now, so I see what I see. Mostly the people who have reached out are women and either on disability or they're supported by their husbands. And as much as I appreciate that people being sick sucks, but if you are able to get disability and or you are supported financially by somebody else, no matter how sick you are, just sit and think for a sec how fucking lucky that is. Because there are some people that don't have anything, no financial assistance at all. Imagine being as sick as you are, but not being able to get assistance whatsoever. And I'll be honest, if I was being helped, I would still try to go out because you know what, sitting at home all the time makes me sicker. It wasn't until I started leaving the house, my girlfriend said, "You need to come and help. No matter how hard it is, at least once a week, try to get out." It wasn't until then where I started getting shit back a little bit. It was fucking hell. It still is, but not like, after benzos. I mean, I'm able to drive 20 minutes still, although it sets me back every fucking time. But there was a good portion I was driving 40 minutes. I was just starting to drive farther. I was getting better until I fucked up that Remeron taper. I will always kick my fucking self. Kick myself forever going on benzos. Kick myself forever fucking up Remeron. I should have been off by last fucking Christmas, the year before. And this year I fucking completely fucked up. I've been doing my best to get through this. Doing my best to get through this without any problems. I've managed to keep a good diet so I'm not sicker. I've managed to stay away from alcohol, caffeine, anything that's just anything, sugar. It's anything. And no matter what, I fuck up. I'm just human. It's been 5 years and 4 months for me since off benzos. There's no way you're not going to fuck up. There's just no way, especially when you're as sick as you are. I've had MRIs in withdrawal, CT scans in withdrawal, fucking blood work in withdrawal, heart work in withdrawal. I thought for sure there was something else wrong. I've been to rheumatologists in withdrawal. All to try and get diagnoses so I could fucking not work for a while. Because honestly, right now, if I had some benefits and I could pay some fucking bills and I didn't have to fucking go out, I can do shit on my own fucking time. I can go out for a walk. I can go to the store if I need to. I don't have to force myself to work and stand on my feet for hours and drive 20 minutes away and do all the shit that keeps setting me back. It's a complete joke that I ever have to fucking do that this way. And it's not anybody's fault. It's not my girlfriend's fault. She busts her ass just to be here. She does her time. She's got her health issues. It's not all about me. Sometimes I make it all about me, but that's because my shit's so fucking weird. I'm telling you right now. Other countries, anxiety and depression is a reason to get disability. Here in America, it's bullshit because everybody's fucking got a fucking diagnosis for anxiety and depression. I literally had to fight for mine. I mean, I literally tell them, why don't you give me a diagnosis of PTSD at least? Because, fuck, I've got visual snow syndrome, super fucking rare. And it's absolutely disturbing what I have to look through my eyes. A neurological syndrome disease. And just because it's as rare as benzo withdrawal, nobody gives a fuck. Go to the neurologist, doesn't give a fuck. Go to the ophthalmologist, whatever, doesn't give a fuck. And I'm going to good doctors. Well, there's just nothing we can do. I'm literally telling you what I have and the symptoms, and you're not even writing down a diagnosis for it. It pisses me off. Not that visual snow would mean anything to disability, but it is absolute. My visual snow is so progressed, and it's like almost impossible for me to see normally. I haven't seen clearly, and I'm not talking blur. I haven't seen neurologically clearly in 25 years. But the fact that it's getting worse with my taper is fucking scary. What's going to happen? They're going to have to wait till I go completely fucking blind before they actually give a shit. It's a total fucking joke. This fucking medical bullshit and fucking in the United States is absolute complete garbage. Don't give a fuck at all. In withdrawal, I've seen 2 neurologists. I've seen eye doctors. I've seen upper ophthalmologists, I'm literally telling them I have a neurological eye issue, and they won't even give me a fucking they won't even give me an I didn't even know there was a neuro ophthalmologist. I didn't even know there was one until I was reading it online the other day. They didn't even think about giving me sending to me to one. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. I've got a list of shit and I can barely fucking move. And I have to force myself to fucking keep going. All right. I'm done today, but that's my day, you know? It's just pretty brutal. Thanks for hearing me out. I thought maybe some new faces would come on today, but either way, I'll be on later at my normal time.